On April 25th this year, HertsCam held its annual conference here at the Faculty of Education in Cambridge. It was a remarkable event. It was so busy. There were 150 teachers here. There were 16 seminars. It was a very high-profile event. We had a keynote speaker, Graham Donaldson, who used to be head of HMI for Scotland. But actually the main business was the teachers themselves sharing stories about their experience of leading change. It was a remarkable level of discussion and such high-quality debate in the seminars. The most remarkable thing for me is that the conference was entirely organised by members of the network, the teachers themselves constructing this edifice that enabled each other to engage in such quality debate. It was truly remarkable.
Into the moment, like I'm standing at the edge. I know, 'cause I'm a slave to the sound. And they're calling, don't stop, no, I'll never give up, and I'll never look back. Just hold your head up, and if it gets rough, it's time to get rough. They keep saying, don't stop, no, it's never enough. I'll never look back and never give up, and if it gets rough, it's time to get rough.
That HertsCam will develop into the kind of international network that it's become today, able to organise and resource events of this size and to really show how teachers can, and indeed are the best possible people to, lead change and facilitate each other's professional learning.
Yet, despite government's fervent wish, you can't just roll out some prescription that will work in every school in the land. And it's at times like that that it gives me immense delight still and pleasure to remember that in Old English, the verb to go means to stare stupidly. HertsCam is a glorious example of what extended professionality can and should look like. Margaret Mead summed it up best when she said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Thank you. Have a great day.
Really engaging. I mean, it's ahead of its time. As I said, it started open up more gates than we realised. It's extremely professional, a lot of time and effort though. Really positive. Always really good seminar presenters, really good resources, and just really good people to contact with, and from that I've been able to network quite a lot. I think all the seminars, including today, is extremely professional. A lot of time and effort's been given, you can tell by the presenters themselves. I think it's looking really positive with the direction that HertsCam's going, and I think it's expanding, and I think what's happening is as the kind of policy of school development drives towards school-to-school partnerships and kind of peer-to-peer development, HertsCam is going to have real resonance in that. It's going to really, I mean, it's ahead of its time. As I said, it started, many years ago before this became kind of mainstream, and now that the rest of the world's kind of caught up, I think it's going to lead the way and kind of innovate, as Dr. Frost was saying earlier on, turning to a charity, getting funding, looking at different forms of scholarships, different forms of development, not just on an academic level, but an actual practical level as well. So reassess myself as a learner in terms of being a teacher or an educator, what is my role? It's really helped me readdress that. Secondly, it's helped me reassess my approach to not just school, but leadership in general.
So I made this little kind of homework sheet to just remind them what they did, check your rota, email me if you want me to put it up on the board, but equally you can bring something in, summarise it, read it out, show you pictures. El Nino, which sorry if this is patronising, but it's actually quite a complex, specific phenomena. And students came in and started trying to explain that, which is brilliant. And then someone came in with an article on Dale Farm, which I knew about because they'd come in to see me to say, can I put something on the board? I was like, brilliant. And I thought, I know how this is related to geography, but I'm not sure what you're going to say. And then they came in and they were talking about greenbelt land, and they were talking about rights for people and how they differ between different places from like an 11-year-old guy.
That the way in which we will achieve that, continually improving, invigorating and reinventing the education system, is through investment in teachers, teacher professionality and the nature of the teaching force. You don't drive change into a system from the outside, you build change from the inside. It's about educational change being increasingly defined through professional growth. So educational change is not something which is an entity which is just, there's the problem, here's what needs to be done, this is what we need to do. Actually, the whole process of educational change is about the professional growth of teachers, individual teachers and teachers working together.
And build our own professional knowledge. Some of us are very scholarly about it, some people are doing the masters and so on, but together in different ways and in practical ways, we build that knowledge. We take action, we lead. We do scholarship, of course, but largely we come together and discuss, and that's really powerful. So we can also be influential elsewhere. We've got, we're very fortunate, I think, to have connections now with people in different countries, and we've got visitors from some of those countries here today. And we know that we can have some influence and be helpful to people in other places.
Please never underestimate the power of who you are, what you do, and the impact that you have on young people that you teach. So, some key messages to take away, and I've stolen these from people who've already spoken. Love the one you're with. Sisters and brothers, we're doing it for ourselves. Go out and change the world, and share the love.
For me, this event was quite remarkable because, unlike so many conferences for teachers, this one was organised by the teachers themselves. It shows me, and I hope we can show the world, that actually it's possible for the teaching profession to provide that environment and those structures to support teacher and school development. I think this event has been very convincing in demonstrating that it's possible. And it was wonderful to have visitors from other countries and contributors from places like Palestine and Egypt and other places. We had colleagues there from Portugal as well. And that too was a helpful opportunity for us to spread that message that teachers can do it for themselves.